Hello everyone. Today I'll be sharing my digital story 9, reflecting on the topic of extended realities or XR. So now let's dive and learn about how XR as a developing technology is shaping education. First, we want to explain some important terms that help us to understand XR more better. First, extended reality or XR. We can define this as, in a broad term, for immersive technologies covering virtual realities, VR, augmented reality, AR, and mixed reality, MR. The second, we have virtual reality, VR. VR fully immerses the user, whether they are a second language learner or not, in a digital environment, often requiring a headset that replaces their real-world view. The third is that augmented reality, AR. It layers digital elements onto the real world, allowing users to interact with both at the same time, usually through a mobile device or tablet. And then we have mixed reality, MR. This combines elements of VR and AR as well, so that it allows digital and real-world objects to exist and interact in the real time. Talking about our reading and also reflecting on the main ideas around the XR for education, focusing on the potential benefits and limitations. The benefits, we can say that it actually provides immersive experiences that can or make learning more engaging and also help second language learners to interact as if they are in a real life, which normally screen cannot do. Another benefit is that VR, it's more like an active learning compared to a passive learning, so that second language learners, for example, can be more engaged and interact more independently. We can also share with you some of the limitations of the use of XR. First, the equipments are very expensive, which is one of the challenges and barriers for not only learners, but also educational institutions. A second limitation is that with the advancement of technology, this equipment actually require frequent updates, although it might not be a big issue, but it is possible for some equipment to break down. The third and last one is that it is also to make users experience sickness, eye strain, headaches, and dizziness right after using it. This is not a positive thing. It is important actually to share some of the future directions when it comes to the use of the XR. First, whether this VR become popular or mainstream or not, or handy or not, prices should be decreased. If it's not for personal usage, it should be for educational institutions as an aid to improve learning environments. A second thing to consider is that it requires developing specific educational content for classes and also for learning, for learners who learn a second language. This is actually to meet their needs. A third one, or the last one, is that more studies are needed for long term to compare the benefits with VR and the traditional methods. Now, sharing with you my personal reflection and experience with VR, especially when it comes to gaming. I'm very familiar with VR in gaming, especially when it comes to the Xbox and PlayStations. So the VR games I've been encountering or I played, basically they are often related to sports such as tennis or golf. But I also played some games which are based on nature, such as exploring oceans. Although I haven't tried any other games, storytelling games, just like the one that our professor mentioned in the pre-reading video, Spy in Bushurst. I believe that VR has great potential to make games in this area. However, we may think that when it comes to playing these games, as I mentioned, tennis and so on, through the VR is not beneficial. In fact, it is, because I learned many words that are related to tennis, such as serve, rally, fault, deuce, break points, and so on. Of course, it cannot be compared just like when you are learning a normal lesson or any content when it comes to learning a second language, but something that is better than nothing. And also, such words may not be learned or found in the second language content. Reflecting on personal challenges, I actually experience physical discomfort, like having headaches after using it, dizziness, and also eye strains, which all these make it difficult to use VR in a regular basis. And so this makes it a major barrier for me personally when it comes to playing using the VR or using it for learning. Now, I'll share with you my lesson plan that incorporates VR for teaching. The lesson topic this time is going to be exploring ecosystem. The objective here is that students visit different ecosystems, and as I mentioned before, reflecting based on my personal experience is that they are going to visit the oceans so that they can understand biodiversity and any such environmental challenges that we can introduce and provide them. So first, the content here is already available. Learners can experience the ocean. Another thing is that students, they will have the chance to learn vocabulary related to the marine life so that learners can describe or identify species or name of the plants in the oceans. The most important things actually is that learners would have the chance to cultivate a sense of care and responsibility for nature. So having the VR activity here is that the students will use the VR headsets, and so they can explore the ecosystems, let's say the oceans, and interact with the plants and animals to learn about their roles and adaptations, and so on. Afterward, they will answer such questions that we can provide to them, and then we all, as a community, we can share the findings about our answers and also reflecting about the environment. Now, let's place this activity within the SAMR model. We are considering two levels, augmentation and modifications. The first augmentation, the VR here, replaces the traditional video with a 3D immersive experience, allowing students to feel as if they are exploring the ocean. So the ecosystem in a real way. The second is the modifications. By interacting directly with the environment, students can gain experience or a new experience that are impossible with any traditional or conventional methods. So the students will enhance their engagement and understanding. When it comes to the combining these two levels, students will enhance their experience when it comes to the learning, but in a meaningful way. In conclusion, VR can stand out as a transformative tool when it comes to education, offering immersive and engaging learning experiences for second language learners. When we allow students to interact directly with an environment that is fully rich with a language, VR can enhance their comprehension and retention, making learning a language more engaging, enjoyable, and also effective. However, the technology faces such major challenges. First, we said that it costs a lot of money, which makes the VR equipment difficult for not only the individuals but also for the educational institutions to acquire. And also it requires a lot of maintenance, such as update, which some uh, equipment may break down. In addition to that, there is a pressing need to expand VR content that must be tailored when it comes to second language learners. This is to ensure that the content meet the second language learning needs. Another important concern is the physical discomfort that the VR can cause. As we said, it includes dizziness, eye strain, and headaches. So this issue, even though they are they have been working on it to mitigate them. Addressing these barriers will be essential for VR to achieve its full potential in the educational settings. Thank you for listening.